Have you ever wondered how the sports we love were originally made? Some of you may have had those thoughts, but others of you may have not. I myself was like many of you. I could care less about where the particular sport of tennis originated. I've been taking this tennis class here at Biola, and these random thoughts started to come into my head. I know, talk about random. But I'm going to tell you about the history of tennis, how it spread to the surrounding countries, and the basic setup of the court. First of all, the history of tennis can be tracked back thousands of years. It was first created by European monks, and they began to play just for fun and before certain religious ceremonies. And then the materials that they had was just a ball and then their hand. It really started out with their hand. So you just throw up the ball and hit it up against the wall and just keep playing like that. Then there was a leather glove that was invented for them to wear, probably because their hands started to get sore, probably broken bones, you know. And from that glove, there was just a paddle that they would strap on and just hit it like that. And then from that, there's a racket that was made so that they can actually hold it and hit the ball against the wall. And the ball went through changes too. It originally started as a wooden ball. Then it evolved to a softer, bouncier leather ball. And from that, Charles Goodman, he invented a way to harden rubber. So that created a rubber ball. And from that, it eventually evolved into what it is today, a felt ball, a felt material ball. Now, because of that, games can be played outdoors, and because of that, it can be spread to other countries that are more outdoors affiliated. By the 13th century, this sport was becoming so popular that there was 1,800 courts in France alone. The citizens became they just loved to play this sport, and they wanted to play it all the time, and they got all their friends to play it. But the authorities didn't like this too much. They tried to banish it because it was becoming such a diversion from other important things in this country, but obviously that failed because they just loved it so much. Later on, there were other high personnel that started to enjoy this sport. They were really, really passionate about it, and they even promoted building new courts in other countries, in England. In 1874, Major Walter C. Wingfield got the patent right for tennis over in England. At the same year, there were courts that were being made in the United States. And that's it. During that time that their courts were being in the United States, they were spreading to Russia, Canada, China, and even India. Because the game has been transferred to other countries, a standardized setup for the court should be established, and it was established. There's a basic setup of the court, and it was first as an hourglass. So it was like this, and then like that, and it narrowed in the middle where the net was. And at the time, the net was about 5 feet high, and it swooped down to lower, so about 3 feet. As time went on, they probably realized that was not very good, so then they expanded the middle and made it just into a rectangle straight, like this. The sides are called the sidelines, and the ones on the back are the baselines. The net would be right in the middle, and that has to be 3 feet high for them to hit it over. And then at the back of the baseline, that's where the person who is serving serves over the ball and tries to get it in another square that is inside this person's section, and that's called the service box. And finally, as I wrap up this last bit of information, I ask you to think of the sports that we love to play and the ones that we are dedicated fans of. Think about how it originated, how it was spread throughout the countries, and even what the basic makeup of the sport is. Some may be relatively new, but others, like tennis, the evolution from its origin to where it is now took thousands of years. So next time you go out to throw a football or kick a soccer ball, think of the events that occurred for the start of that game.